Okay, so I just want to apologize. I am sick, so I am going to sound a little funky and I might cough a bit. So you guys, instant film in general is making a comeback. I love any like analog format, CDs, vinyls, film photography, 35 millimeter, 110 medium format, film cinematography too, all the color grading, beautiful, you guys. It's great. So essentially, it's coming back, you guys. Specifically, instant film. Brands like Fuji and Polaroid have really been making a comeback. I mean, what's better than going out with your friends, taking a picture, and having a literal hard copy of the picture in seconds? That's amazing. I think it's amazing. So instant film is largely driven by the popularity of Polaroid and Fuji, like I said. You get immediate results. It's just great. Also, nostalgia and novelty. I mean, I'm sure if you guys see somebody walking around with like a little brick in their hand, taking a picture, you guys be like, oh my gosh, that is the coolest thing ever. I need you to take a picture of me, you know what I mean, sort of thing. So I was lucky enough to interview a photographer. His name's Diego. He is on Instagram under AIM, _shoot_develop. Super great guy. He mainly does work with instant film as well as modified cameras, which we'll get into later in the presentation. So essentially, he told me that instant film, you really need to be intentional. You only get one chance. Unlike digital, you can take essentially countless photos until the shutter speed either gives out or you need to upload your SD card and wipe it, you know what I mean? Digital is always going to be so quick. Instant film is really intentional, so you need to have not necessarily a vision, but you really need to like pick and choose what you want. He also told me that film photography is like a food dish made by a loved one. There's something irreplaceable about it, and I feel like that's really true. He also emphasized that film photography is really authentic, that digital can't replace. There's a lot of people who do take digital photos and edit them to look like film. If you guys really look at it side by side, you can really tell a difference, which is kind of crazy. So even though people are trying to replicate the look, nothing can beat the original. So I also was lucky enough to speak with Ryan, who is under Option 8 on Instagram. He creates amazing camera modifications like these here. This one is a Polaroid Big Shot. That camera, if you just see that somewhere, it's not gonna work. The film using that camera, the film that the camera uses, discontinued. You can buy packs of expired film online for upwards of $100 for that camera. That's insane. You don't even know if it's gonna work. So what he does is he modifies them. He uses the back of the Instax camera that you can see right there, and somehow modifies them and puts them together. Same with this one. That one also takes Instax wide. He started that by taking a college class doing 35 millimeter film, and then took another class where it was more instant, and he started with a peel apart film, which is what the Big Shot uses. And he essentially had to put that with a day slide, a projector for the film, and it just kind of turned into a desire for more control over the cameras. He was really bummed out that there was no professional Instax cameras, which is limiting in a way compared to all the other options that you do have. If you have something specific in a specific view, then yeah, I mean, it's gonna be limited, especially most of those cameras do have a plastic lens, you know what I mean? Not the best pictures. So essentially, he can either do this, or he also has modifications where you can do manual control over the instant photos, which is really a game changer. Let's see. So here are some photos that Diego took. These are all portraits that he took on one of the modified cameras like I showed in the last post. A lot of detail, great color grading, and essentially the rise of analog photography. It's pretty uncertain, films discontinuing, things like that, but a lot of interest does thrive, especially when people want more authentic pictures. And the camera modifications that Ryan does make do really help with that, as well as contribute to sustainability, because those cameras would otherwise be unusable. Thank you.